Welcome back to Head to Head on Al Jazeera. My guest today is Daniel Bwala, Special Advisor to President Tinubu of Nigeria. Let's talk more about your boss, President Tinubu. He's been on the political scene in Nigeria for decades, first as governor of Lagos and now as president since 2023. He's a very rich man in a very impoverished country, and there's a lot of mystery as to where he got his wealth, estimated to be in the billions of dollars. What do you say to people who highlight allegations against him of, quote, massive corruption and misappropriation of funds?
That's their opinion.
Actually, it's your opinion. In January 2023, you talked about the legal petition against him that involves, quote, massive corruption and misappropriation of funds. You were in the opposition and were very critical of his wealth.
Exactly verbatim what I said, because what you just said is not a true representation.
January 22nd, 2023, you said the petition against him involves massive corruption and misappropriation of funds belonging to the government of Lagos State, abuse of official office, conflict of interest.
If you haven't watched that Al Jazeera head-to-head interview yet, please find a cold bottle of water and sit down first. Because what Mehdi Hasan did to Daniel Bwala, President Tinubu's special advisor on policy communication, was not just an interview. It was a full-blown eviction notice from the land of comfort. It happened on Saturday, March 7th, 2026, and the internet in Nigeria is currently vibrating. People are saying Bwala nearly entered the ground, and honestly, the clips going viral show exactly why. Let's break down the violence that happened in London. Mehdi Hasan is known as a deadly fact-checker, and he came prepared with receipts. He started by showing Bwala video clips and reading quotes from 2023, back when Bwala was the spokesperson for Atiku Abubakar, PDP. In those clips, Bwala was calling Tinubu all sorts of names, questioning his certificates, and saying the APC would lead Nigeria to ruin. Mehdi, you said Tinubu was unfit to lead. Are you saying you were lying then, or are you lying now? Bwala, visibly sweating. That was politics. In opposition, your job is to oppose. Omo, the way Bwala was trying to explain that politics means you can say anything today and the opposite tomorrow, it was hard to watch. Nigerians on X, Twitter, are saying he looked like a student who was caught cheating, but is trying to explain that the ink just appeared on his palm by miracle. Mehdi threw another bomb. He quoted President Tinubu saying in August 2025, there is no more corruption in Nigeria. Mehdi, is that not a ridiculous thing to say? Transparency International says systemic corruption is still everywhere. Bwala, you are cherry-picking. The president meant we are fighting it. Mehdi didn't stop there. He brought up Abubakar Bagudu, Minister of Budget, reminding Bwala of the Abacha loot history. Bwala tried to defend it by saying the government is committed to investigating wrongdoing, but Mehdi kept pressing him. This was the most painful part. Mehdi Hasan quoted a specific remark from January 22nd, 2023, where Bwala, then with the PDP, allegedly claimed that Tinubu created a militia to corruptly influence the election. Bwala, I never said that. The reality, Al Jazeera didn't just read the quote, they had the video clip ready. The moment Bwala denied it, the internet already had the receipts playing side by side. People are calling it the shaggy defense. It wasn't me. But in international journalism, once you say, I never said that, and they show you a video of you saying it, your credibility enters a one-way bus to nowhere. When he couldn't deny the quote anymore, Bwala pivoted to what is now the most famous line of the week. It is all politics. He explained that when he was in the opposition saddle, his job was to oppose with zeal. He even tried to compare himself to Donald Trump's cabinet, saying many of them once spoke against Trump. But Mehdi wasn't having it. He basically asked, if you lied then to get Atiku elected, why should we believe you aren't lying now to keep your job with Tinubu? Bwala's response about ease and joy in defending the president just made the audience at Conway Hall in London murmur. Mehdi went for the jugular on corruption. He brought up Abubakar Bagudu, Minister of Budget, citing the US Department of Justice allegations that Bagudu helped Abacha launder billions. Bwala argued that the US court decisions don't bind the Supreme Court of Nigeria and that there is no evidence of misappropriation against Bagudu domestically. Omo, defending the Abacha loot on international TV is a high-level extreme sport. Bwala looked like he was trying to swim across the Atlantic with a bag of cement on his back. On insecurity, Bwala acknowledged the challenges but tried to balance it by saying there are parts of London where you cannot go in the evening. Nigerians are firing him for this. They are asking, is London having mass kidnappings of 300 students at a time? Is London having torture chambers in the suburbs? Trying to compare the street crime in London to the banditry and terrorism in Nigeria was seen as a very weak whataboutism. Bwala didn't stay quiet after the cooking. He released a statement on Saturday evening saying, He has no regrets and would do it again anywhere in the world. He accused Mehdi Hasan of opposition research-style journalism and using fake news quotes. He said his job is not about selling ice cream or looking fine, but about brave defense. He even claimed he's ready for part 2. Sir, are you sure? Wait, sir, you are a spokesperson. You are supposed to be prepared to answer for your own words. If a journalist tells you, I'm going to ask you about your past, is it still an interview or a scripted drama? Despite the shege he was seeing, Bwala tried to stand his ground on security. He insisted that insecurity is not worsening in Nigeria. He even mentioned Tinubu's recent strategic visit to Turkey, Turkey, and the cooperation with the US as proof that the government is working day and night. But when Mehdi brought up the recent kidnappings and the torture chambers, like the ones we heard about in Ohafia, Bwala's defense started looking like a house built with biscuits. This Al Jazeera interview was a masterclass in accountability that has left the Nigerian media space shaking. You could literally see the moment the violence hit Daniel Bwala. His eyes were doing service trying to process how Mehdi Hasan was pulling up video clips for every single denier. The difference between what happened in London and what we often see back home is like the difference between a professional boxing match and a friendly handshake. Bwala couldn't believe his eyes because he came with the Nigerian media strategy: deny everything, shout louder than the anchor, and wait for the next commercial break. But Mehdi Hasan is a deadly fact checker. When Bwala said, I never said Tinubu created a militia, Mehdi didn't just argue, he played the video. In international journalism, a video receipt is the end of discussion. Bwala's excuse that Al Jazeera practiced opposition research-style journalism and didn't warn him they'd talk about his past is hilarious. As a spokesperson, your past is your CV. Look, let's be fair to Daniel Bwala for 1 second. Mehdi Hasan is arguably one of the toughest interviewers on the planet. He doesn't let you breathe, he doesn't let you meander, and he will interrupt you 50 times if you don't answer the question. But for Bwala, the problem wasn't the interviewer, it was the past. In Nigeria, we have a politics of the belly, where people jump from PDP to APC like they are jumping from a downfall to a BRT. Bwala is the poster boy for this jump. When you spend 12 months telling Nigerians that A is a devil, and then 6 months later you are hired to tell us A is an angel, Al Jazeera is the last place you should go for a chill chat. If it's in Nigeria, an interviewer might say, people say you said X, and the politician says, I never said so, and the interviewer just moves to the next question. Sometimes, Nigerian journalists are too polite or too respectful to big men, or they are afraid of the consequences of pushing too hard. Interestingly, some people are now comparing Mehdi Hasan to Rufai Oseni of Arise, saying Rufai is one of the few trying to unearth these dogs who eat their vomits. Even Atiku's aide, Paul Ibe, came out to say every network needs a Rufai. The interview is currently trending with over 400,000 views in just a few hours. The critics, they are calling it national embarrassment and saying Bwala should resign for being cooked so badly. The supporters, they say Bwala was brave enough to even show up, unlike other aides who would have fled the invitation. Bwala says there might be a part 2. Omo, if I were him, I'd make sure that part 2 happens on a radio station in a village with no internet, because Mehdi Hasan is not a man you want to see twice in one lifetime.
I'm glad you said the petition against him. Yeah, document that was taken to court.
That you highlighted.
I wasn't the one that went to court. And at that time, where was I?
You were an opposition member.
Thank you.
So should we not trust you when you say things as
What is the job of opposition?
To oppose?
Yeah, no, I'm glad you know it.
For the sake of opposing?
No, that's what you're adding.
I mean, you didn't just say that.
No, go to Westminster on Wednesday by 9 o'clock.
Okay.
You will understand the job of the opposition.
You can do whataboutism all day, that's fine. You also said that, well, you know what doesn't happen in Westminster in the US Congress?
I know what does happen.
Well, I'm telling you what doesn't happen. Politicians don't accuse other politicians of setting up a militia. You said
they also accuse the governing party.
You said at the time.
On mistake in judgment in appointing someone that eventually turned out to be somebody in the Epstein
Yeah, if you think that this is comparable to Starmer and Mandos said, good luck to you if that's your defense tonight. You said at the time that Tinubu started a militia to sway the election corruptly and that they even threatened you. So how can we take anything seriously you say tonight in his defense?
Your opinion, Nigerians.
No, my opinion is your opinion. Sorry, Daniel, it's your opinion.
That was litigated in Nigeria to conclusion, and then as a country we moved on. We are more interested about the deliverables that we have for the Nigerian people, and we look for opportunities.
Nigerians are very concerned about corruption, and Tinubu, you said this, Tinubu and his people created a militia. This is the first time in the history of Nigeria we've seen a political party creating a militant arm leading to election. Your words, January 2023.
Context is everything.
There is no context.
I'm coming. You are quoting the things I said when I was in the opposition.
And I understand that's uncomfortable for you, but
no,
you did say them. If you want to disown them, that's fine.
For you to ask anything I've ever said.
So does he have a militia that tried to kill you?
He doesn't have. I never said he tried to kill me.
Will you keep quiet?
I myself have received threats from him and his camp. Your words.
I never said that.
You didn't say that at a press conference on January 22nd, 2023. You're just denying.
I never said that.
Who said it then? Lookalike.
No, I don't know what you meant by that. I know I complained at the time
You said
about the conduct of election.
It is not my fault that I am able to recall your words in a way you can't.
But it will be your fault
Tinubu,
when you read it out of context.
If we go home late tonight, context.
Yes.
Tinubu and his people created a militia. This is the first time in the history of Nigeria we've seen a political party creating a militant arm and leading to election. He advised his people should grab by all means necessary the process leading to elections, that they created this militia shortly after that. We have seen violence in Nigeria, and I myself have received threats from him and his camp.
Tinubu never created a militia. Tinubu is one of the foremost politicians in Nigerian history.
Tinubu and his people created
democracy.
a militia. Who said those words, Daniel?
Tinubu has helped in strengthening democracy in Nigeria.
Tinubu and his people created a militia, Daniel. Who said those words?
Tinubu brought in leadership
skills
into governance.
Tinubu and his people created a militia. Who said those words?
Tinubu and his people never created the militias.
So why did you say they did on January 22nd, 2023?
I never said that.
Let's keep going, since you're denying words that came out of your mouth. Let's quote some other folks. The Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project named President Tinubu a finalist for the 2024 Corrupt Person of the Year award. According to a 2025 poll, 2 out of 3 Nigerians think the president and his team are involved in corruption.
That's a statement from drunken people. Next question.
2 out of 3 Nigerians are drunk.
No, start with the first one. What would you say the first time?
The first one was the OCCR reporting project.
They are the drunken people.
Okay, what about the Nigerians? Are they sober? Are 2 out of 3 Nigerians sober when they say you're president and you were involved in corruption?
Nigerians are entitled to hold and express opinion.
Yes,
it is in our constitution. The fact that you express an opinion does not substantiate that opinion.
I agree, but that's their opinion. You accept that 2 out of 3 Nigerians think that your government is corrupt.
I will be happy if you can tell me a finding of court that says Tinubu is corrupt.
Well, what's interesting you should say that, because a lot of Nigerians have reason to suspect that his wealth was built on illicit activity.
A lot of English people have complained about the Prime Minister.
You can
a lot of Americans have complained.
There
is no country of the world where the people aren't complaining about their leaders.
All right,
that's how
I love it when you set these challenges. Can you find me a country in the world where the sitting president, the US government seized $500,000 from one of their Chicago bank accounts after investigators found probable cause that the funds were proceeds of drug trafficking, specifically heroin. Tinubu gave up the money in a settlement. He was never indicted of a crime, but when a US judge last year ordered the release of all of the documents by the FBI, Tinubu went to court to prevent it. What does he have to hide?
The minute a matter is taken to court by right, you have the right to send your lawyer. The fact that you send a lawyer to defend your matter or to go against a motion that is filed before the court is not a conclusive proof of acceptance of the fact
he's obviously got something
that was
to hide.
taken to the court.
He gave up $500,000, which were probably the proceeds of drug trafficking.
I'm glad you used the word probably, but it is not. Go ahead.
You said in 2022 that this drug case, quote, conclusively concluded not in favor of Bwala because he had to forfeit that money. There is still a cloud around drug-related activity.
Cloud,
yeah,
not a conclusion.
Okay, so the cloud's still there for a lot of Nigerians.
No, the cloud is no longer there.
How did it disappear?
Because the Nigerian people have moved on with the president.
Who said they moved on?
The facts are there.
Less than 10% of Nigerian voters voted for him. So that he doesn't have some big mandate from the people that means that I can't ask you, why did he give back $500,000 to the US government, which were believed to be the proceeds of drug trafficking, and you believed they were the proceeds of drug trafficking?
Why do you conduct a polling with 500 people and give a representation of the population?
You're now questioning all polls. Is that your defense?
No, I just said the point. You heard me well.
Well, you don't trust the Nigerian people.
I trust the Nigerian people.
This idea of drugs and narcotics is a terrible case all over the world. And if someone has that questionable character and is elected as president, what it means is that it will embolden people who are into those activities. That is why this person has to come out clean. You said those words.
If somebody has that, thank God he doesn't have.
How do we know he didn't come out clean? You said he has to come out clean in 2022.
Okay, let me put it this way. This fact was litigated.
No, it wasn't.
This fact was litigated in the Nigerian court, and the apex court of the land, the Supreme Court of Nigeria, whose decision is not appealable to any court outside Nigeria, held that this case has not been established against.
Your words were that there's still a cloud around them because it was not conclusively concluded
My word
in favor
and the judgment of the Supreme Court, which one is relevant? In the Constitution of Nigeria, all the decision of the Supreme Court bind all authorities and people throughout the Federation. That's what matters.
The fact that he had laundered drug money, most likely in his US bank account, is not an issue for you now. It was an issue for you a few years ago. It's suddenly not an issue when you go to work for the man. How convenient.
The court has held the allegation that was put up in the petition against him could not be
Well,
substantiated.
the US hasn't held that. And in fact, the US court tried to release all the files, and the president rushed to stop them from doing that. Innocent people, is
And
that what they do?
stopped them from releasing
Is innocent
What
people?
stopped them from releasing
It's
it?
ongoing in the courts.
I'm glad you said ongoing.
But do
So let's
innocent-
wait until when it's...
Do innocent people try and stop files from being released about themselves?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm sure the Nigerian
Yeah,
people do that.
privacy. Do you... I'm coming. If a case is taken to court against you, even when you know you are not liable, will you be comfortable that the order of court will permit the release of privacy issue relating to you?
Yeah, if people think I have drug money in my bank and I don't, then yes, I would do everything I can to...
Unfortunately, people do not.
Tinubu is not just super rich. It's what he does with his wealth. In 2019, 2 armored money trucks, Bullion vans, were seen going into his house, coming out of his house. Where did that money go?
No. Point. Did you see the money? Or those who reported, did they see money inside the Bullion van?
Was there no money in the Bullion vans?
How am I to know?
You said it was money in the vans at the time.
I never said
2023, February. You said...
How could I have known
it's
there was money
it's a
in the-
tragedy that I know your words better than you do. There is only one person in Nigeria who is alleged to have moved money through Bullion
Please,
vans,
no court,
and that
please, that's fake
person
news.
is the presidential candidate. You said that on February 17th on Channels Television 2023.
Thank you for notifying me.
So where did the money go from the Bullion vans?
There was no money inside.
So why did you say there was?
I said there was no money inside.
But you said, at the time you said he's the only person to have moved money in Bullion vans.
When did I say that? What was the event in Nigeria?
Oh, so you were lying because it was election campaign?
No, I never said that. I say, how can you prove that just because a Bullion van goes into a person's house and comes out that there is money inside?
Maybe because people said it was vote buying by Tinubu. Tinubu himself said, I gave money to the people. You know he said that?
Yes, I also give money
When
to
you
people
give money to people,
myself.
people would say that's vote buying. Politicians, rich politicians give poor
No, he
people
doesn't
money.
give money to people on election day, but he helps people.
But people at the time said it was vote buying. Do you agree with
Who
them?
are the people?
You said,
No, I never said that.
ostensibly, I can't believe you still
told you.
keep walking into this. You said it was done ostensibly for vote buying. Do you agree with Daniel Bwala or not? Please don't lift up a glass of water. On the eve of the presidential elections, 2 cash-laden Bullion vans, your words, were seen on the premises, which was ostensibly for vote buying. Your words, January 22nd, 2023. Have you just disowned everything you've said in order to work for this president?
I'm coming. What you just said now, I want to put it on record on my own honor. That's not what I said.
So far you've denied 2 things.
This one I said,
No,
that's
no.
not what I said.
Before you said
so
it
let
too.
me tell
Well,
you
let's
what
just
you
keep
do.
count.
Let me tell you what you do. You will have an idea of a phrase or a word in a sentence. They coin the other part of it to project what you want to
No,
push out.
I read the entire
I'm
sentence
coming.
to you.
No, but that's
no,
wrong.
no. Let's
But
read it
that's
again.
wrong.
On the eve of the presidential elections in Lagos, 2 cash-laden Bullion vans, your words, were seen on his premises located on 26 Borderland Street, which was ostensibly for vote buying. Your words. You can just say I don't agree with what I said, then I was lying.
I don't agree with what you said, yeah?
No, with what you said. In fact, in 2023, you said that he bought his election. Did he buy his election?
At the time, I thought. But when it was litigated in court, the court found out he didn't.
So you thought he was vote buying and now you don't. You thought he bought his election, now you don't. In fact, you said it was so corrupt, the 2023 election, Tinubu's win, you said that you couldn't eat food for 3 days.
I never said that. Where?
Arise News, March 2nd, 2023. I became so sick for the past 3 days, I found it very hard eating food.
I'm sure you have a mistaken identity. I never said that.
You never said that you
Why
became
will I not
sick.
eat? Win, lose, or draw. You eat your food and go to bed.
I'm going to spend a lot of time enjoying social media after this show is done.
Go ahead.
Ed.
You're welcome.
Let's turn to our panel who are waiting patiently.